Misogyny is an issue that everybody needs to deal with. One job industry where you wouldn't expect there to be an extremely high amount of misogyny is the IT industry. So for this episode of Stacy Links Presents, I'm going to come on and I'm going to talk about misogyny in the IT industry. I'll be right back. Alright, so welcome to my channel. I'm Stacy, and for this episode I'm going to talk about misogyny in the IT industry. I'm going to talk about some stories of experiences that I've had in the IT industry before transitioning, having the brain of a woman, but still presenting as a man. So before I get started, what I'll get you to do if you're new to this channel and you're a transgender person or a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, make sure you go down below in this video and hit that subscribe button. And make sure to hit the little bell beside to be notified anytime I upload new content to my channel. I have playlists with videos on my makeup routines, tips and tricks, fashion, and jewelry that you would love to see. Plus, I'm documenting my transition while being a parent and advocating for the LGBTQIA+ community. Also, if you're not following me on social media, go down to the description of this video and look for the social media links for my Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok accounts and go follow me there. So at first glance, a lot of people would think that the IT industry is full of camaraderie and teamwork and cohesion, but that could be furthest from the truth. The IT industry seems to be one of the highest industries with misogyny and narcissism. Seems like the most narcissistic and misogynistic men are the ones that get into the senior positions and into management positions. I have had many run-ins with people who are very misogynistic. One thing that is very common amongst misogynistic men is getting together Friday night after work for drinks and listening to these guys, even if they're married or have a girlfriend, start hooting and hollering and flirting with the waitresses. Many times I've heard these guys say that they would be willing to have more sex with their girlfriend or wife if they were hotter, or if they were as hot as the waitress that's helping us. And at the same time, they just keep putting down their own spouses, their girlfriends, while flirting with a waitress who may not even be as attractive. These are the types of men who literally go behind their wives or girlfriends' backs and do things that would be considered outside of the relationship, like flirting with the waitresses or commenting about women that pass by on the street. You know, one common phrase that I would hear from these guys would be like, oh yeah, I'd bang her, she's pretty hot. And yet these people have girlfriends or wives. And then you have someone like me, especially knowing for a very long time that I'm trans, but not being out, knowing that my mind thinks like a woman, going through in my head thinking that these guys are pigs. These guys don't deserve the women that they're with, and they don't deserve any woman to be with at all. It's usually this sort of misogynistic attitude that causes a lot of these men to lose their relationships. And then you take it a step further when you're actually in the job area. And in IT, currently, there are very few women actually doing the job. Most women that are in IT have been doing it for 20, 25, 30 years, and they're in that position because they're really good at their job. At one point in time, IBM did boast a 50-50 split in gender amongst their technical staff. This was back in the 60s, but that all shifted in about the mid-70s with the advent of the first Star Wars movie that came out. But I digress. There has been a steady decline in female and woman techs in the industry for quite a number of years. And the other biggest issue is these narcissistic and misogynistic managers don't want to have to hire a woman to do a job that they think would be better done by a man. So in order for a woman to challenge and successfully obtain a job in IT, she would have to be exceptional as a tech and then have somebody else in the company advocate for them. This is pretty much the only way I've known a lot of women to get into IT. So another story I want to talk about is a job interview that I had here in Regina about a year and a half ago with eHealth Saskatchewan. First, they had us come in and do group testing. So they had all of the candidates come in, and I was the only femme presenting person there. All the rest of them were guys. I was the first one to finish the exam, and I probably marked in the top 90%. They invited me in for an interview, and it was the HR manager and the IT manager were interviewing me. The HR manager was present during the group testing, so we had already met before. But the IT manager looked like one of those so-called alpha men. And instead of considering me for the job, they expected me to provide 2 professional references in the previous 3 years of employment, when I'd only had 2 jobs in the previous 3 years, and one of them wasn't willing to give me any reference at all. So with that, I think all they were doing was just trying to make an example out of me as to why they don't want to hire a woman. But also the other problem too is foreign workers, but I won't get into that in this video. So at this point, I'm absolutely leery about going to another job interview in the IT industry as a woman. I feel like the best thing for me to do would be to just go back to presenting as a man, and then if I feel safe with the company, then I'll come out. And after that, then I can present as myself. However, even then, who knows what kind of reaction I'll get. Even if the company is supportive, there might be certain people in the company who are unsupportive, misogynistic, and narcissistic. And that could cause real problems for any femme-presenting person in the IT industry, which shouldn't be a gender-specific industry anyways, because men and women can both have technical minds. Men and women can both work on computers. I work with some very intelligent women in the IT industry who really knew their stuff. So, but as I mentioned earlier, as a woman, trying to get into the IT industry is very difficult. You usually have to have some sort of an in the company. Otherwise, you really don't stand a chance at all. Alright, so thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button down below and drop me a comment. If you're employed, talk about what your experience is in your industry with narcissism and misogyny, especially if you're a trans woman. I would love to hear your stories. And don't forget to check out all my back episodes and stay tuned for my next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.